Welcome to the Sons of Light podcast. My name is Jay. I'll be taking you through the forecast. So today we're going to look at the full moon in Aquarius that's happening in Aquarius. It's going to occur on the 29th of July 2026. That's about 3 days time. And here is the breakdown. So the moon will be in Aquarius while the moon will be in Aquarius right there, while the sun will be in Leo. That's what we call a full moon. A full moon is when the moon and the sun are 180 degrees apart. Okay? That's what we call a full moon. That's when the moon is fully illuminated by the sun. That's when it's at its peak. That's the farthest it can go from the sun. So during a full moon, we expect the themes of completion, culmination, harvest, revelation, illumination, manifestation, clarity, or the tension that is created between two opposites, the sun and the moon. That tension is also projected during the full moon. The full moon happening in Aquarius tells us that this full moon is very innovative. This is not an emotional moon. The moon in Aquarius tends to be very detached. The emotions are distant from oneself, and during this period we might come off as cold. People might term you as cold, but Aquarius, being an air sign, tends to be very rational. It's not like a water sign that is very emotional. An air sign is going to be logical with the facts and deal with the facts. Something else about Aquarius is that it's a collective sign. It's a humanitarian sign. It's a sign that points towards the collective consciousness. It's a sign that points towards communities, networks. This is where we find the institutions of the society. So having a full moon fall here illuminates these themes, because the moon is going to express its energy through the lens of Aquarius. The sun, on the other hand, is in Leo. Leo is a very personal sign. It's about the personal authority. It's about the ego. It's about leadership, but not the kind of leadership for the public, but it's for the collective. It's for the person, individual leadership. So you find that people with their sun sign being Leo tend to express their ego so much, like it's could be inflated. Yeah, but they are very egocentric people. That could be both positive or negative. So you find that people with Leo sun tend to be leaders. They tend to find themselves in positions of leadership, and They are charismatic. They are people that the people that they lead love. They are charismatic, they are warm, they are charming, but at the same time they could be so egocentric and they become self-absorbed. The sun represents our will, it represents ourself, it's our individual consciousness. It's the I am. It's your identity. That's why your sun sign is very important, because that points towards your identity, the mask that you chose to wear in this lifetime. So with that in mind, you already see the tension that is here. We have Leo, where the sun is, which is a very self-centric sign. And we have the moon in Aquarius, which is a very humanitarian sign. It's a collective sign. So that's the tension between personal power and the collective power. Pluto's kind of power, okay, I didn't mention Pluto, but Pluto is here at 4 degrees of Aquarius, very much conjunct or close to the moon. And this adds the theme of transformation, because Pluto is the god of the underworld. He has the transformative power. He's the god of death and rebirth, because for transformation there must be death. Being in the sign of the collective, it's questioning how is power distributed in the society. It's going retrograde, it's going inward, it's questioning, it's restructuring the definition of power. This is a conflict between our power, the power that we have, and the power that other people have over us. So this could show up as manipulation, depending on where this sign falls in your chart, because this signifies a certain area of your life. Aquarius is a forward-looking sign, so the transformation that is happening in Aquarius is foreshadowing Pluto's themes in Aquarius for the next, is it 20 years, 20 years, up to 2030, oh no, 2040, or thereabout. So this seems like a chart that is carrying a lot of tension, but the tension is presenting in order to purge. What do I mean? In order to get rid of it so that you can move forward with clarity. The full moon brings clarity. This brings clarity. It brings revelation. This cycle started 2 weeks ago when the moon was still in Cancer. The moon and the sun were in Cancer. So a seed was planted here, and now the moon has been moving around, and now it's finally here when it's full. The seed that was planted here is now fully grown, and now it's a time to reap what you sow. You might have sown the seed consciously, or it could have been unconsciously, because life doesn't wait for you. Whether you are conscious or you're not conscious, your life has to go on. Whether you are aware of whatever is happening in the skies or you're not, your life is to go on. But if you are aware and you are aware of the energies that are at play, and you understand it's a time of planting a seed, you plant the seed that is in line with the energy that is there. Remember, it's not about hard work, it's about efficiency. Life is all about efficiency. What is the minimum amount of energy that I can put for the maximum output? That's the question that astrology helps you with. So we go and look at the ruler of the sign, which is Saturn. Saturn rules Aquarius. The modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus. So this brings in a theme of restructuring. Remember, Saturn has just stationed retrograde a day or two ago, and it is squaring, it is in a separating square with Mercury. Mercury was retrograde but just stationed direct recently. So this square is showing a tension between the two energies, the energy of Mercury and the energy of Saturn. Saturn is our discipline master. He is our teacher. He's our discipline master. He wants us to mature, but often he teaches through challenges. But nonetheless, his lessons are enduring because Saturn is bringing the challenges so that you may learn and grow from them. Saturn represents reality. It represents karma. Whatever you're experiencing right now is as a result of of a decision that you made before this moment. That's what we call karma. Act, cause and effect. Okay? Saturn also rules foundation. Saturn is the structure that keeps things intact. It's the architect of your life. So if Saturn is challenged here and he is retrograde, that means that it's even more difficult to deal with Saturn than normal. Remember, there's a conjunction that happened earlier this year here between Saturn and Neptune and is still active. So the energy is still very, very potent. Things are dissolving because that conjunction represents the Saturn Neptune conjunction represents dissolving of reality. Yes, it's the coming down of the illusion that you've been living under, and that is the real challenge happening in Aries. It's questioning us about our identity. So who are you becoming when the illusion falls? Because the illusion is falling and you can feel it and you can see it. Especially this year, a lot has happened. February we had that major conjunction between Saturn and Neptune, which brought the themes of reality and visions together. And we were told to question our vision and our reality. Does our reality support the vision that we are building or we are dreaming of? Saturn wants you to build structures that can support the dream. Okay? Neptune represents the dream, it represents the vision, it represents the belief. It is the realm of the unseen, it's the spiritual realm. While Saturn is the direct opposite of that. It's the reality. It's what you have to deal with day to day. It's not in your head, it's out here. So when the two come this close, especially in the same sign or in the same within close degrees or close proximity, they amplify the themes of restructuring our life. They amplify the themes of reevaluating our dream and making sure that the vision is in alignment with the reality. Saturn rules the discipline, the consistency, and the work that you're going to put in to achieve the dream, which is Neptune. So Saturn is the consistency. It's the day-to-day work. So if you want to see that if you are walking your day-to-day life, just ask yourself, if Saturn followed me each and every day, would he commend me for taking the right steps day by day towards my vision? Or would he be harsh on me? Just a way of thinking about it. So we come back to this challenge here. I've told you what Saturn represents. So let's talk about Mercury, because Mercury is forming this 90 degrees square. Mercury represents our mind. It's the conscious mind. It's our thinking mind. It's the left side of the brain. It's our communication. It's our thinking patterns. The analytical mind. So Mercury is an archetype, rules over transportation, communication, the mind. It also rules over Gemini and Virgo. Having stationed direct a few days ago, less than a week ago, adds clarity to what Mercury is doing. Mercury is moving now forward in Cancer, but he was retrograde for the past month. He was retrograde. He came to the heart of the Sun, still in Cancer. Proceeded to go to the station direct, where he acted on what he learned when he met the Sun. So the clarity that you learned around July 12th, there is some clarity that came to your consciousness around that time. Is being acted upon, but it's facing a challenge from the past, from Saturn. So even if you got the clarity on what you need to work on and move forward, you still have to deal with this square. This square is the tension that's asking us to mature our communication, to mature the way we speak. Okay? So in this square, we are being told that authority is responding to facts, not just emotions. Because here in Cancer, Mercury can be quite emotional. But as we know, Saturn, if you're talking about maturity, it's not about being emotional. It's about being logical. So you have to deal with some facts here. That's the energy that is coming up. There are some facts that you'd have to deal with from the past. They might involve someone older, something from the past, or something that you just perceive as a challenge for you. The good news is this tension is moving forward. It's not becoming intense, it's separating. You've already gotten the worst of it, and now you're moving forward away from it. But you must move forward with the lessons that you've picked if you want to let go of that lesson and move forward. Okay? So that happening still on the day that we have the full moon, it becomes energized. Because remember that this moon rules this sign, which is Cancer. So Mercury is in the moon sign. So whatever Mercury is doing is being affirmed by the full moon energy. So watch out for flare-ups around communication. If you need to do some communication around this period, do it with the maturity, do it with the facts at hand, do it with a clear mind. Don't let your mind be disillusioned by or rather illusioned or fogged by the emotions of Cancer. Yeah, just take in allow yourself to feel the emotions, but don't be reactive to them. Take authority and act from a point of authority, not from a point of reactivity. Okay, so this full moon is influencing this Mercury. So some communication are about to be dealt with, and they'll pass. So next to the moon, to the sun, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is a sign of expansion. It's the sign of positivity. It's a sign of growth. The sign of possibilities, potential, abundance. It's a very positive planet. It favors growth, and it also shows blessings from the gods, I mean. It is usually a positive flow of energy that is magnanimous. Jupiter loves loves movement. It loves expansion. While opposite, we have Pluto, a sign that we said it's all about transformation. Being in an opposition, this tells us that the full moon energy is overflowing into the opposition of Pluto and Jupiter, making it even more visible, or more, it's going to be felt more. So for the transformation that is happening, it's going to be big. See, the transformation is with an opposition with the expansion that is happening. So something is transforming, while here something is expanding. But for this to expand fully, you must allow this transformation to happen. So Jupiter might bring something to the surface which needs to be transformed by Pluto. Okay, and this is going to happen for the next 2 weeks. It's going to happen for the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks, or rather, that's when the energy is most potent. But this is going to unfold for the next 6 months until the next time when we have a new moon in Aquarius. That's 6 months out. So remember, we have this auspicious formation, that configuration that has formed with the outer planets. This sextile, this sextile there, this sextile there. You see, we are forming kind of a bucket in that opposition. We also have a trine there, another trine there, and that's our basket. I guess you can see it. The basket configuration is called a cradle, and this is one of the, to put it in one of the most popular astrologers of modern day, Andre Barbault. I'm sure I butchered that word. He said that this basket is there's a possibility of a civilization relaunch because of the energies and how they flow. Okay. Yeah, so that's the energy. That's the most potent energy. Also, we have this square, which is a tension between Venus and Mars. Venus represents beauty, love, peace, and balance, while Mars represents fighting, action, movement, anger, frustration, blood, energy, boldness. So when the two come together in a 90 degrees that is perfect, it creates a tension between the two planets. As you've heard, the two have different vibes, I would say. One is a peaceful sign, a peaceful planet, while the other is a fierce planet. Mars is in Gemini, the planet of communication ruled by Mercury. But we also have Uranus there. So these two being in the same sign brings in the energy of unexpected action, unexpected insight, innovative thinking. We get energy in how we think. There's a possibility of changing how we think. This configuration can change how we think. And having all the other outer planets interplaying in that basket makes that energy even more potent. So this is a full moon, but with some underlying tone of new beginnings, because we are having configurations of once in a lifetime, I'd say. So once we get this change in how we think, how we speak, how we communicate, it's challenging how we maintain beauty, balance, harmony. That too will also need to be changed, because you can't change one without changing the other. If you change the way you think, that means you're going to change the way you see beauty and the way you value, how you see value, if that's within you or outside yourself, that's dependent on you, or rather dependent on your own birth chart. So having these two square off means that there's some conflict. But if you have a positive or a well-placed Venus in your chart, you're going to mitigate the challenge. Venus is in her fall in Virgo. She is very critical. She's very analytical. Yes. And beauty comes through service. That's how she sees value. So this might be seeing value or changing the value we give to our communication. This might also point towards conflicts, especially with males in your life during this period. Allow whatever is changing to change so that you don't have to deal with a lot of things at once. Sometimes just observing is the best thing that you can do. Allow something to fall so that you may know what to do next to prevent another fall. But if you try to catch a falling knife, it's going to hurt you. Well, that's the kind of energy I see here. Don't try to solve everything all at once, because that's something that Venus and Mars in Gemini can favor. You want to be helpful to everyone in all sort of ways, but you can't. You're going to stretch yourself thin. Okay. So generally this chart is a positive chart. It's some little bit of challenges. So for the next 2 weeks, expect some rough revelations that are going to help you reorient yourself and your life. Okay. Yeah. And also check on this Uranus here. It's forming a good trine here with the transformation that is happening. So the transformation is happening effortlessly. You don't need to initiate, or rather do anything big to initiate the transformation. It's already happening. Whether you are aware of it or you don't, you're not aware of it. Just allow it to happen. Some things are just all about allowing. This opposition here could be at the trigger point. This full moon could be the moon that triggers everything, that starts a cascade of events that are going to shape your next 6 months. So depending on where these configurations are happening in your life, it's going to influence you differently. Okay. So in Gemini, it's how we think, how we communicate, and how we relate with our siblings. So let's talk about the new moon when you get there, which is going to be in Leo on the 12th of August. It's going to be an interesting one because it's going to be a solar eclipse. And you know what about solar eclipses? Major beginnings, major endings. The energy will start to be felt 7 days before. So start watching out for things that start occurring around the 7th of July or thereabout, because those are the themes that are going to be magnified by the eclipse. Okay, so you're going to have an eclipse here. The first one, they're going to be falling here between this axis for the next 18 months. See, the node just shifted from Pisces to Aquarius, from Virgo to Leo. So for this part, you need to have your birth chart. You need to go check your birth chart. You need your date of birth, your time of birth, and your location of birth. Then you're going to input in this website here, just like I've input here, date of birth. Then you're going to input the place of location and the house system. Then you're going to look at this critical point here that we call this. It's going to be labeled as 1 or the ascendant. So based on the sign that is here, that is what we call the ascendant. Okay, so that's the sign we use to know where this full moon is going to fall exactly in your life. So if you are an Aries rising, this is going to be happening in your 11th house, the house of friends, the house of groups, social circles, your long-term hopes and wishes, yeah, your online communities. So this may be illuminating things around your friends or your groups of friends. If you are Taurus rising, this is going to be happening in your 10th house. So this might be themes around your career, fame, public reputation. In short, generally how the world sees you. So this might change how the world sees you. If you are Gemini rising, this is going to be happening in your ninth house. So this is going to be affecting your philosophy, your worldview. It's going to be influencing your higher education. It's also going to be influencing your long distance travel. You might be coming to an end of a long journey that you are on, or maybe planning on taking a new journey in the future. If you are Cancer rising, this is going to be happening in your eighth house. This is the house of death, transformation. It's also the house of the occult. It's also the house of the hidden things, like astrology. It's also a hidden science. It's the house of transformation. Also, it is known as the house of shared resources. This is where money that you share with others or resources that you share with others come up. So if this is happening in your eighth house, those issues might come up: inheritance, sex, death, and also secrets. If this is happening in your seventh house, then you must be a Leo rising, and this is in your one-on-one relationship, partners, and contract. So you might be focusing or bringing your attention to one-on-one partners. That could be your business partners. From the charts, it's more unlikely for them to be one-on-one that are dating. It's more of a business relationships, where you might be reevaluating where you have your personal authority in that dynamic of the partnership. If you are Virgo rising, like me, it's happening in your sixth house. So this illuminating themes around how you work, health, services. So Aquarius being your sixth house, this could mean you might be thinking of working online or changing how you work with the technology. You could be incorporating AI or automation to your work. It is also a clarity in that house. It is a manifestation. Could get a job opportunity at that time. Yeah, it is also a health house. So you might be reconsidering your health, your eating diet, and maybe exercise routine. If this is happening in your fifth house, then you are Libra rising. For Libra rising, this is happening in your house of joy. This is where you find pleasure, leisure, fun. This is about speculation. This is also about speculation. It's also about fun and games. Okay. It's also your creativity. So you might find yourself endeavoring towards creativity oriented tasks. These are things that you create from your expression. That could be art, that could be music. Yeah? It's your expression. What gives you joy? What satisfies your inner child? If you are Scorpio rising, this is happening in your fourth house of home, roots, and your ancestry. So an issue might arise at home that needs your attention, or something might come up in the public that needs you to revisit your roots, your parents, where you come from. This could be your maternal lineage. Okay. So these are your private foundations or your emotional foundations. This is where you find stability in the inside before you go outside on your career. You know, the fourth house is opposite the 10th house. So the fourth house is about coming within, and the 10th house is going without. So if you are Sagittarius rising, this is happening in your third house of communication, siblings, also transportation, and your local neighborhood. So something might involving movement, communication, or correspondence. It could also involve your siblings, having a meaningful conversation with your siblings, or just illumination to your thinking patterns. This full moon might illuminate how you tend to think. What is your view on justice? What is your view on truth? So this full moon is going to activate that. If you are Capricorn rising, like someone I know, this is happening in your second house, and this is your house of money. This is your house of possession. These are your assets, and this is your wealth. So the full moon might be asking you to incorporate technology or just automations in how you earn, how you make money, and how you value things that are valuable to you, your possession. They don't have to be merely material. They could be intellectual, intangible. Okay. So if you are an Aquarius rising, this is happening in your first house of identity. This is a house that deals with your personality. It's your appearance and your approach to things, how you begin things. It's also your life direction. In the first house, you might be looking within yourself, within your identity, asking yourself, is this personality really in alignment with my future goals? Because that is Aquarius. Aquarius is asking us about the collective, your position as the identity in the collective. How do you serve the collective in your individual capacity? What's your place within the collective? So that's for you, Capricorn. Aquarius. And finally, if this is happening in your 12th house, then you are a Pisces. And the 12th house is the most spiritual house. It's the house that deals with the ending. It also deals with the past. It's the hidden house that deals with our subconscious, isolation, retreat, release. This is where we find peace being alone. Are you isolated? You might be thinking about how you could change the world, how you could serve humanity. So issues around you retreating could come up. So you might find yourself wanting to retreat, move away from the public view, or revamp your spirituality, or maybe start a new way of connecting with the divine. So I hope this was helpful, and have a happy full moon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So see you on the new moon. Bye.